Hello everyone, Charanjit Singh this side. Today I am going to discuss chapter number 2 from your class 10th, that is acid, bases and salt. In this module we are going to learn how to recognize between acid and bases. So to get started we have to read about the basic properties of an acid and base. So let's start with the basic properties of an acid. The first one property that I am going to tell about, that is these are basically sovereign tests. They can turn blue litmus to red. They can easily give you H positive ion, that is known as hydrogen positive ion, in aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means the solution which contain water as a solvent. Which contain water as a solvent means water will be present in a large quantity, that is known as basically a solvent. And next property of the acid, it can corrode metal very easily. Metal, it can, when that means when we are going to place acid in contact with the metal, it will corrode the metal very easily. Next is classification of an acid. The acid are mainly classified into two categories. First one is classification based on strength. The strength of an acid depends on the degree of ionization. Degree of ionization means we are talking about dissociation, means when we are going to add acid in water or in some other solution, it will liberate some ion. How much ion it is going to liberate, that is known as basically degree of ionization. So first one here I am having strong acid. Strong acids are those which dissociates completely in water, that is named as strong acid. For example, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid, I am giving you one reaction, that when we are going to dissolve hydrogen chloride in H2O, you will get H positive and Cl negative ion. That means you can see in this reaction the number of hydrogen in towards the reactant side and the product side are same. The number of hydrogen, again repeating, number of hydrogen in reactant side and as well as the product side is same. That's why it is an strong. Next one is weak acid. Weak acids are those which does not dissociates completely in water, that are known as weak acid. For example, acetic acid, citric acid, etc. For example, I am giving you one reaction. When we are going to dissolve acetic acid in water, you will get acetate ion and hydrogen ion. In this reaction, you can see very clearly the number of hydrogen ions in reactant sides are 4, but towards the product side only one hydrogen is liberated. Other one is acetate ion, means number of hydrogen ion liberated by the acetic acid are not same. So it is an weak acid because it does not dissociates completely in the solution. Next one, I am going to talk about the classification on the based of concentration. So first one are concentrated acids. The concentrated acids are those in which concentration of acid is more and that of water is less. Means acid is more and water is less. And diluted acid are those in which concentration of acid is less and that of water is more. That will be known as your diluted acid. Next one, we are going to talk about bases. So bases are those which are bitter in taste. They turn red litmus to blue. They give OH negative ions in aqueous solution. Aqueous solution was what? Aqueous solution was that solution which contain water as a solvent. So next property is it is soapy in touch. For example, soaps. Yes, the soap that we are using it is also a base. Next one is classification of bases. The bases are being classified into two categories. First one is strong base, next one is weak base. The strong base are those in which dissociates completely in water. For example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, etc. I'm going to show you one reaction, that is when NaOH. NaOH is what? It is sodium hydroxide. When it going to add in water, it will liberate Na positive and OH negative ion. And weak bases are those which does not dissociate completely in water. For example, ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide does not liberate its ion properly, so it is an weak acid. So next one is basically I'm going to tell you one more term, that is called alkali. Alkali are the bases which are soluble in water. Means For example, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide was NaOH. It is basically can give OH negative ion, as well as it can easily soluble in water. So it is an basically an alkali as well as an base. Now one question is, now we have learned about acid bases and their basic property. So one question is, suppose you are having a substance X and you want to know whether it is an acid or an base. How to check it? First of all, our mind say the most common method is we can taste it, but no, we cannot taste a substance to get to know about it is a acid or base. The reason is, if it is a strong acid, it will be a dangerous to us. So to check whether it is an acid and base, we are using a term that is called indicators. So what are the indicators? The indicators are those which changes their odor or smell in different types of substances. Again repeating, indicators are the substances which changes their odor or color in different types of substances. For example, I am having first the types of indicator. The first one is natural indicators. Natural indicators are those which are obtained from natural sources. For example, litmus or turmeric. Litmus and turmeric. When we are going to add litmus in acid, it will give you a red color. When we are going to add it in base, it will give you a blue color. Same as it is, we are having turmeric. Turmeric is originally yellow in color. So when we are going to add turmeric in acid, it remains in the same color, that is yellow. But when we are going to add turmeric in base, it will give you a red color. So next one indicator is synthetic indicator. Synthetic indicators are those which are prepared from chemical substance. The indicators which are prepared from chemical substance, they are known as synthetic indicators. For example, methyl orange and phenolphthalein. When we are going to add phenolphthalein basically in acid, it will become colorless. And when we are going to add phenolphthalein in base, it will give you a violet or dark pink color. Similarly, when we are going to add methylene orange in acid, it will give you a red color. But when we add methyl orange in base, it will give you a basically a yellow color. So these are the terms related to the acid bases and their how to distinguish between them. So in next video we am going to discuss about the reaction of acid bases with metal, non-metal, with other solution. Thank you and wait for the next video. Thank you so much.